Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my good people. Uh, I'm a little drained today. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I gotta pull out my witch's hat tonight because I do not have time to be sick. I got way too many things to do to be sitting here acting like I'm sick. Not gonna happen. But yeah, what a week. Last week was phenomenal. What a weekend. This show's about the recap of Mom Got Jokes. But we'll touch on a few things before we dive into that. Um, Kids are back in school. Well, my oldest one went back today. Beep, 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 beep. My little one starts tomorrow. So, woo, child, we made it through the summer and they are on their way to school. Ooh, I can finally have my Mondays back. We ain't got to hear them, talk to them, worry about them playing video games too much. None of that. I can get back to dropping them off. And if I choose to crawl back into bed, no judgments there, right? But yeah, so coaching is coming along ish. Um, None of my kids have quit yet, so him. Um, but I'm a little disorganized because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. I think for the most part, the other coaches, when I got questions, they answered them, or we try to get answers to whatever questions, or if they don't have the answers, I mean, then you can only do what you can do. But so far, so good. We have a scrimmage that's coming up Saturday, so we're gonna see if anything that we taught these boys have sunken into their brains and they do something on the field. And then I have my official first game next Saturday, all the way in Hampshire, wherever that's at. I got to look it up, but I know it's there, and it's that's going to be actually after the 606 Mania comedy show next Friday. If you guys haven't bought your tickets, go to bsidestudios.net and purchase your tickets. Um, but yeah, so last Thursday. We'll go back to last Thursday because last Thursday, Lord had the children. Um, it was exciting. It was a lot of people, freaking standing room. There was people like not even at the tables. They sitting at the bars, and some of them were standing. Um, it was great. It went by so quick. Those are one of those moments. Like you know how they have like these YouTube people and stuff, and then they have like people recording them all the time. Those are one of those days that I wish that I had one of them peoples that I recorded what happened. Because what I did wish that Mikey did do was actually record the show, because I would have liked to have seen the other ladies doing they sets in full, I was so nervous and in my own head that I caught a couple of jokes. I caught a couple of things that they said, but then like I would start hearing them. Then I would hear the crowd laugh, and then I would be like, "Oh my god!" And then I would start repeating what I thought I needed to say, and then I wouldn't pay attention no more. And then even after I got off the stage, I still then now I'm like, okay, now let me eat something because I'm gonna start drinking. So I did that show, the Mom Got Jokes. I did that sober. I did not have no alcohol prior. I didn't even eat prior. I think the meal that I had prior to even going down to Chicago. So let's just go. So I started my day. I came to work at the salon. And then I think I went home so I left here at 2 o'clock, had some food. Because the whole day, man, look, like when your stomach all nervous and you all like, and I'm running to the bathroom like, damn, do I gotta poop? Do I gotta throw up? Do I just gotta fart? Like I didn't even know what was going on with my body. I was just like, oh my god, whatever came out came out, and I'm just like, let's just get it all out here now, prior to me getting on this stage. Because the last thing I wanted to do is get on that stage and either pass out or fart or shit myself or throw up. Like I didn't want none of them things to happen. But Lord, but we got home, we got ready, I got on my way, and on the way to driving to Chicago, which took me an hour, I didn't know what was going. I thought I was like, man, I'm like, I just ate, so I know I ain't hungry. And then I thought I was gonna throw. I swear to God, I thought I was so nervous. I thought I was gonna throw up on the way there. You know, like when your mouth starts salivating, like you're about to throw up. And I was like, first off, I didn't want to throw up because I didn't want all my little red dots on my face. But I didn't throw up. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't throw up. But man, look, it's one of the moments that I wish I took more pictures. I had to start stealing people's pictures because it was one of those moments that I wish I took more pictures or video or whatever. But I was so like such in the moment that I wasn't even thinking about none of that stuff. I just want to make sure that all my people got in, which I think everybody but one got in. My poor nephew, but and then my people. So there was an incident. Well, not an incident. I'm not gonna make it like that because ain't nobody fought, ain't nobody get the police called on them or nothing like that. But like one of my family didn't need to get in because he had some words, and not so nice words, and then but then I know. So I'm up in the green room. So when we got there, right? We talked about he showed us like what we were gonna do on the stage because this is like most of us. This was like our first time doing any type of these things. This was like these ladies, except for like maybe one or two of them. Like we had no experience doing none of this stuff. Um, so he talked about like how we supposed to come on the stage, we got to have high energy, and then they stuck us up in this balcony which they considered the green room, and then like we can see the people coming in. He had some food out there for us, he had gave us some drink tickets and shit, and it was just like great. But I'm still like, I'm just sitting there literally just like a deer in headlights, just getting all this information and seeing what I'm gonna do with it later. But so yeah, everybody started coming in, and I'm telling my people like, "Yo, it says on the flyer, no late seating. Hurry the heck up!" Because some of them like, "Do you really think they're gonna shut down the door?" Man, look, let me tell you, Mikey O don't play. When he say he's shutting down that door gets shut down. Thankfully, he found it in the kindness of his heart that he did let my late people. I told y'all American time, damn it. He did let some of my people who did come a little. I mean, they weren't like super late, except for my homeboy, my brother from another mother, Antoine, who showed up at like 8:05. Showtime was at 7. He was like, "Oh, I thought it started at 8." But anyways, he hopefully will make it to the next show at 6:06. But so he found it in the kindness of his heart to let my people in. All I know is that man came upstairs and was just like, "Yo, Jess, your people about to beat me up for not letting them in." I said, out of all these damn ladies that are up here, my people, my people, my people. But you know what? No, 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 no fists were thrown. Everything was good and Gucci. We had an amazing time. I went up there. I kind of went over my time, I think, a little bit. Because you know what? They tell you when you doing your set, you talking and blah, blah, blah. At the back of the room, there's supposed to be a guy there doing this thing with a flashlight. And we had 4 minutes. So we had 3 minutes, and then he was gonna flash the light to let you know, like, yo, you got a minute left, wrap it up. I don't miss this light because by the time I got to time over, I'm sitting there talking my shit. Now, if you were not able to come to the show and you wanted to see my set, you can. I have put a reel. It's on the Sippin N Trippin page. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook, so you can find it. I posted it. Some people were like, I can't see it, so it's there. So, anyways, so I'm doing my thing. I'm talking my shit. You feel me? And then next thing you know, I look up in the direction of where the dude's at. And next thing you know, I said, "Oh my God, hurry it up, Jessica, and wrap this thing up." And then they brung on. So I shut up. Said thank you, everybody. It's Jessica. And then they brung on my non-for-profit, which was the Neighborhood Boys and Girls Club. So my homegirl, Maria, came up there to receive the check, $500. Okay, we dropped $500 on them, and then I got off the stage. When I tell you I got off this stage, yo, I was like, Mikey was he grabbed my hand. He was like, "Dude, are you shaking?" I said, "Yeah." And he was just like, That was you nervous? I said, oh yeah. So for those that did watch the video or that were there, a girl was shaking in her boots or my chanclas. A girl was shaking in her chanclas, okay? Because man, that first off, to do your first official stand-up comedy in front of that amount of people, all I kept saying was foreheads and eyeballs. That's all I seen. I didn't know. I mean, I knew where a certain group of my people was, but I couldn't see nobody else. Like there was a group here and a group here, and whoever was inside the middle, I didn't see nothing. I'm telling you, I was up there, and all I can see was foreheads and eyeballs. That's all I seen up there. But I kind of just was just thank God I was blessed with the gift of gab because I'll just keep talking and talking, and then I talk when I'm nervous, so that also helped me. You feel me? Um, but yeah, I know. I mean, just from the energy in that room, the energy that the crowd brought in there was like top notch. Like, bro, that shit, they should pour that up and like sell it. Cause man, you couldn't tell at all that you were nervous. Yes, I was, girl. I knew I was talking about my crooked left titty, but when I tell you under my titties, I was sweating. It was dripping. Yes, wepa. But yeah, no, these ladies did great. I mean, I don't know if I want you to go first or last or whatever, but we didn't even have that choice. They told us what order we were going to go in. But would I do it again? I think so. I think so. Well, I that ain't no think so because the next show that I'm going to be on is 606. Hello. Um, you did great. I am saying I was first. Yes, you were first. And you broke that seal, honey. And you got them ready. Okay, Marcy. So Marcy was one of the moms that was on the show. She was actually the very first one um that got on stage and did her thing. So like I said, I don't know if I want you to be so like it's a good thing when you're first, right? Because 606, I'm gonna be the first one away from like the host and whatever else they got going on in the beginning. So I'm gonna be the first one, so you kind of set the tone. I feel like the first comedian or the first person on stage sets the tone. So she did a great job. She had the people laughing and all of that. I mean, I think people came in there knowing, of course, that we were not professionals. And man, it was just great. But I think the ladies, from what I heard, were like knocking that shit, bam, 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 ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha. So I mean, yo, I to be a part of that though was like one of them things that I didn't know I needed on my bucket list, but I'm glad I was able to check it off my bucket list. You feel me? And to you know what the great thing was about that was that I was able to get up there and be myself. Like that's just me every day naturally. Yes, I might have been a little no, I wasn't even extra. That's just who I am. So and that the fact that I did that sober, so that's just me. I checked my bucket list. Right. I didn't even know. I love when you end up in situations that put things on your bucket list that were never on your bucket list. Cause no, I've been asked the question that night was this something that I was aspiring to do? Do I want to be a comedian? I said no. Hell no. Nope. Wasn't on my list. But I feel like when the universe is starting to talk to you kind of just got to go with that lane and go with the flow. You feel me? So that's kind of what I did. I know some of the other ladies. I actually have one of the moms that's gonna come on the show and they share her experience with doing that. I'm actually gonna bring her on now. We got Jacqueline Feliciano ish. I think I got her last name right.
Yup. Hello.
Hi, Jackie.
How you doing? Oh,
How
so
are you
noisy.
doing? Thank you, Melissa. I said she said I killed it. I put a fork in it. But yes, how are you feeling now that you've had a few days to let it sink in?
It's a little weird. I mean, I mean, because it's like I'm still like writing off the high notes. You know what I mean? Like it was such a good experience. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm still getting people who are watching the video of my set, still talking about it. Therefore, I'm still talking about it. And here we
Yeah.
are talking about it. So, um, it, it's just interesting. It's just interesting that a week later, we're still like on the high note.
Oh, I
And that's a
am.
good thing.
I am. I'm still like I did that stuff. I really did that. Like even watching the video back, I'm like, that's me. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I found myself watching the video, I guess, much in the way that like athletes watch their tapes. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, what would I have done differently? What would I have said? Like, should I have said this different? I
Oh
forgot
yeah.
to completely use one of my bits because I was so nervous
A little
that I
nervous.
didn't like when they flashed the 1 minute warning, I kind of just went into the last joke and I was like, dang, the one I forgot to use was better than the one I ended with. And I just completely like was not there. Um, but I had a really good time. And now that I feel like I've demystified a little bit what stand up is and like what goes on behind the scenes, I feel like, yeah, I would do it again. Absolutely.
Marcy, I actually just sent you a link. Check your email. Maybe we can get her on here too. But yeah, no. So how did you even hear about the mom got jokes though? Because I know like one of my buddies who owns a bar, he actually seen it on Instagram and then ended up tagging me. And then that's how I
Okay.
found out and was just like, let's see what happens.
Well, believe it or not, I actually follow Mike Okendo on Facebook. So one day he had announced it to do like to let him know or send him an email, something like that, so he could send you info about the info session. And I was
Mhm.
like, well, it doesn't hurt to find out about it, right? Like I wasn't committed to it yet. I wasn't really sure that I would like I was kind of it was a surreal experience. I didn't think I would get picked
Yeah, no, me
from the
neither.
video. And then I was like, is this a joke? Like you meant to send this to me, right? Like I am picked for the show. Like, so it was kind of like that, a little bit of like imposter syndrome where I'm like, I was like, wow, they thought that was funny. Okay, cool. Cause I mean, like how it is, it's like, well, your friends think you're funny, but like my family doesn't think I'm funny. They just think I'm rude. Uh, so I'm like, you
Hmm.
just don't get my humor.
A few of
That's
my family members might agree with you.
you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I mean, and I shouldn't even say all that. Like when I say my family thinks I'm rude, who I really mean is my mom. I don't mean my family, but like,
Oh, look, my mom didn't even come to my show. I invited my mother. I said, Ma, you want to come to my show? And she was like, no. I mean, without like even holding a breath, not no, like, let me think about it. She was like, no. And I was like, thank God that I have a thicker skin. You feel me? So I was like, man, Ma, why don't you want to come to my show? And she was like, for what? So you can just sit there and talk about your chichi? I don't want to hear that. You talking about your private parts. I was like, oh, Mom, but it's like, it's a joke. She's like, no, that's what really happened to you.
oh my gosh. I mean, but that is the essence of comedy, right? Like it's, to take, you joke about stuff like you don't want to make up something so outlandish and fictitious that then you can't remember your own details, you
Oh yeah,
know.
that's why I
Uh,
can't lie. I'm not a
right. And
liar.
I'm like, I have to write about what I know about, or what I'm living. I'm like, and if I can find something funny in that, then I'm just gonna roll with it.
Right.
Because I can't afford therapy right now. So like I'm
I
just
think
gonna
what I think like comedy is therapeutic
absolutely.
because you can get your BS out there, and if people can like laugh about it, like
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I look at it in a way as to like, you're reframing your narrative, right? So it's like either you live with a narrative that people have constructed for you or through your experience, but then you're like, no, I'm not going to let this define me like that. I'm going to
mhm.
flip it. I got to flip the script, right? So you reframe your narrative. So yeah, my mom beat me with the chancla and might have broken a mop head or two on my head. That's not a big deal. That's not abuse to Puerto Rican
Nowadays, well,
parents.
shit, nowadays when people going to like with these parents, some of these parents tweak out a little bit and end up in jail.
Uh,
I'm like, you know what? I thought my mom abused us, but after seeing what some of these children going through right nowadays, and now that I have my, morals ish together, that I'm not like a whole asshole of an adult. I'm glad that she did beat my ass, because some of these adults need to get their ass beat, because you can tell, like, oh, you didn't get your ass beat when you was little, did you?
no boundaries. Um, but
Oh, there
thank
we
you,
go,
Marcy.
Marcy. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
So,
I'm
how
doing
did
home.
you feel?
I'm doing homework. I said, let me take a break from homework so I could talk to the girls because we really didn't get the chance to like. We met each other and then we were on stage and then we said goodbye. And I'm
Yeah,
like, man, it's hard to find crazy people like yourself.
you
Like,
can
you know
come.
what I'm
You come hang
saying?
out with me and my friends.
Like I, you know, how did I feel? Listen, I was when look, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. When they told me I was first, my heart went to my fundillo, my culito, my butt. I was like, "Ah." I said, I have to go out there. I have to go out there and make something. You know what I'm saying? Like make noise or something because I don't. I listen. I was just very nervous. By the end, when Ana Balaba asked me to say something, my lips are tucked there like this because my mouth was so dry. I was like
Oh,
that.
you were stuck.
So I was stuck. I was stuck. But I'm. I always wanted this opportunity. I think, and the jokes that I said were true life jokes. My mom did not want me to be a comedian. My mom didn't go either. She, you know, eso no, that you can't do that. This doesn't make the pay the bills. These are the rules that you got to follow. So when the opportunity came, I was at a very low time in my life. I had lost a big chunk of. I work for myself. I'm an interpreter. I lost a big chunk of my clientele because they moved back to Mexico, and I was down. Like I was down. So when this came, and I was literally talking to the girl that I married from the Miracle Center. At that point, when it came up on Instagram, I said, "Oh, I got to do it. Even if I don't get picked, at least I tried. At least I
Right.
tried." When I got picked, I thought I was gonna pass out, like I couldn't believe it. And the people that have known that this is what I wanted to do, that I showed the email to, they were very excited for me.
Yeah,
Uh, I ain't gonna lie, I had a lot of people there. I had people that I didn't. I had people that came out of like my grammar school friends were there.
that's
Um,
great.
like I could not believe the amount of people that came out, and so which I was very surprised and I was very touched. But I listen, I'm still on the high. I did not sleep. I'll give you one, but I did not sleep till the next day, Friday. All night Thursday, I was like this,
Yeah,
like trying to
you
calm
guys left.
down.
You guys left way earlier than me.
I
Me,
no,
me and my family closed the bar down.
no, I left. I left right before you left because my
Yeah,
girlfriends from high school were still there. There was two tables left. My girlfriends from high school and one that was on the back side, and I think it was your friends.
yeah,
So, and the only reason why I left is my sister surprised me from California, and everybody wanted to head back, but I wanted to stay with my girlfriends from high school. Like I wanted to stay, but um, it was. Listen, I was so nervous that I took, and my sister said she paid for it. I took a beer from the green room and I brought it downstairs and I told my sister, go pay for that beer. I said, Damari, did you pay for that beer? She goes, I think so. I paid for a big tab, you know. So I was just sad that we didn't have that chance to bond. Like I wish we would have like met
prior.
in between, to maybe continue, maybe do a like the Sound of Music, the Von Trapp family, the Mama family that are gonna go say jokes. I mean, that would, that would be good. I think that would be good. But would I do it again if I have the opportunity? I think I would do it again. I have written down so much material of just life. Um,
So how did you guys decide like what was gonna make the show? Like what did you pick?
um, I'm an interpreter, so because I am an interpreter, and how I was an interpreter for my mom, I went that route, like interpreting for my mom learning English, and then going into how we in Spanish say a thing in Spanish in our head, but when it comes out in English, it doesn't come out
Completely.
right.
Yeah. What about
Right.
you, Jack?
Well, for me, I mean, my whole life is material, like other people. So I'm like, what's gonna be so kind of after my Keo said it's gotta be clean, and I go, okay, I gotta throw out this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. I mean, I don't consider myself like a raunchy comedian, but I do curse a lot. Like that is like my
That
natural
was
beat.
my thing. Was like because he didn't say that we couldn't use profanity, but you didn't
Right.
want to
I
use
mean,
it so much that it was like
well, I know
nobody
he
wants to hear
said
it.
He
when
did
he
tell
said
us.
it, he was like, no, what, just make sure it goes somewhere, right?
Well, just make
So
that there was a purpose for you
that there
using
was a purpose
a
for it.
bad
And
word.
so everything that I had written, because I didn't know, so pretty much I was writing stuff before I even knew that I was picked. Because I was like, I didn't want to have zero idea of topics I wanted to, or that I thought were funny or that people might find enjoyable. So I had like 4 pages worth of stuff. And I'm like, I'm just gonna write it out because like this is good. I don't want to forget. You know what I mean? Like if you don't write
Right.
it down and you're like, damn, that's good. That's a good one. Like I don't want to lose that line or or the setup or whatever. So I did a lot of that. And then once we knew that it was like, okay, it's 4 minutes. And I was like, okay, I threw out like 3 pages. I was like, and I just tried to keep it to stuff that I felt like I would remember, but that it wouldn't lose its freshness in my mind. Like I wouldn't stop laughing at it. And that's kind of when I knew that I'm like, okay, this has to make it
Yeah,
onto
that
the
one's gonna
stage
make the cut.
because yeah, because it's like because I'm still laughing about where like every time I read it, like I laugh like I hadn't read it before,
Mm.
so that kind of helped. And also like sometimes it like I would think about it a lot, like once we were picked and everything, and then I would just think a lot, like, how's that gonna sound? How am I gonna deliver that? How am I gonna, whatever? And I just made like a voice note of
Yeah,
stuff off the top
that's
of my
kind of well,
head.
that's kind of how I picked my topic. Because then people would ask me like, "Well, what are you gonna talk about?" And I'm like, "Well, how I discovered I had a crooked left titty." They would start laughing. I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go with that." Because if all I do is just tell you the title and you're gonna laugh about my crooked titty, then that's what we're gonna talk about.
Or I mean, yeah, and so and I think the thing too is people thought that Mom's Got Jokes was gonna be all mom jokes, or that you were gonna joke about parenting.
So that was
And I'm
one of
like,
my questions that I had asked him too, because of the name Mom Got Jokes. I was like, is it just mom, like these moms got jokes to say? Or is it, do we have to say mom jokes? Because there's dad jokes, so I'm pretty sure there's mom jokes. And he was like, oh no, 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 it's just moms that got jokes to say. I'm like, oh,
and
okay. Because
right, and I was like, cool, I got open field because because I was like, because I'm a three-dimensional human, damn it. I'm like, I am not gonna just joke about this one thing when there's so much material in the planet.
right. So
And
what
I'm
did
a
you guys?
fast
So
talker.
I know I expressed like when I was on the stage. I mean, just the hearing our songs go up there and going up there, like I didn't even know I was gonna dance. I knew I was gonna be like, hey. And then I started dancing. I'm like, oh, my knees gonna my knees gonna pay for this tomorrow because I'm not
Not
used
even,
to it.
how I didn't know that we were gonna be asked to pick a song. I kind of just how like the MMA fighters or like boxers, they come out of like the locker room and like their song
Right.
is playing, you're just like running down the aisle. And I mean, I didn't picture myself running down an aisle, but I didn't have like a good idea of what the setup is. I'm like, am I gonna come through the crowd and I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna throw away my shot or whatever? Like, is that what's gonna happen? I'm like, but no. like, okay, come on out and have a lot of energy. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm saving my energy for the set. Like now I gotta have energy for this too. I'm like, okay.
A lot of breath. I was
Um,
out of breath. I'm like, oh, let me get myself together.
Me too. If you like watch my set, like the first 30 seconds, I'm out of breath because I'm like, hey,
Where do we watch the whole thing? Because I only have my set. Where do
Yeah.
we get the whole
well,
thing?
I
I
don't.
posted mine. My sister recorded it. So
Right. I
then
think you
she
have to
sent
go
it
to
to me and then I
everybody's
posted my
like
whole set.
Facebook page or whatever so that you can see everybody's set because I don't think Mikey like recorded the whole thing. I don't think that was something. That's
No,
why I said I wish he would have. That would have been a
mm,
good show to record from the beginning to the end.
right. But I don't know that that's something that they do for any of them, to be honest. I was glad that they let our people record our stuff. You know what I mean? That I'm like, I don't know if I'll get picked for another. Like, I might volunteer for another thing, but I might not get picked for another thing. So this is it. This is it. It's got to be these 4 minutes.
Yeah, you
So
never
I'm
know.
like, so
Marcy, hold on. Are you playing the show on another device? 'Cause I think there's
no,
like some feedback.
no, I'm not playing and nothing. You're just
Okay.
on my phone.
I
Yeah, I
hear
don't know
like all
why I'm
these
hearing.
cracklings.
Right. I'm like, do we got a red on the show?
Okay, let me see. If I'm gonna be the human. Okay, I'm good right here.
Yeah.
I think I can't even talk because it doesn't like me. Um, I think that I talked. This is the feedback that I got. They liked that I said 4 different jokes, but that the third joke they kind of didn't get it because I kind of sped through it because I got flashed. Of course, they didn't know that, but I got flashed.
I didn't even see the flash. I
Um,
seen the last flash where he was like this, like, hurry up.
oh, okay, okay.
I didn't even see
So,
the nice little blink, blink, blink. I didn't see none of that.
oh, I, I did, and I think that that's what set me off. But um, my song I picked was "Let's Get Loud" because I
Yeah.
tell people all the time I'm shy. Nobody believes me because I am shy. I use my loudness to get over it. Um,
Okay.
but it was very nice to meet women that are in the same high level, not high level, but in the same energy level. Because there's days I don't even like myself because I talk so much. You know what I'm saying? My ADHD will bounce me off the wall. So it was great to see people that are like me.
Yeah. I don't have
So
HDAD, but I'm just high energy, I think. Anyway. But I don't know. I think that's just cut from my kids and shit. Like, I don't know. Especially me, you catch me on vacation. I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone with the alcohol and the beach. Leave me alone.
no,
Mm,
I can't stay still for nothing. Unfortunately,
That's okay
I'm
because
on the go
apparently I
all the
laugh
time.
at my own shit. So I'm like, I just laugh when I'm uncomfortable. Like, I do. I mean, when I'm nervous, if I'm uncomfortable, I have like that nervous laugh. I'm like, I remember once when I was a banker once upon a time in a past life, and I remember once a client came up and they had some type of issue, but they were so mad, and I'm trying to like help them, but I was like, you know how it goes. She goes, I don't think that's funny. I go, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing, but I was so uncomfortable. Like she just had
Right.
like such a heavy presence, and I'm like, if I don't laugh, I'm gonna need an exorcist. Like there was just
Oh my
not
God.
like it was so uncomfortable. I'm like, um, yeah. So when I was on stage, and I'm like, everybody's hanging on my every word. Everyone is
Uh-huh.
looking at me, and I'm like, but I'm the only one up here, so I'm not even gonna bother to turn around and be like, you looking at me?
Who you
And
looking
then
at?
and then I'm like trying to remember the next thing I'm gonna say, and I'm like, I laugh at my own shit. Y'all laughing too? Okay, because
Right.
I was just so I mean, but like my whole thing is I've been performing my whole life. It's just never been comedy. It's always been like plays and skits and dramas and singing. Those other performative things, but. To do comedy, like you wrote your script, you produced your script, you edited your script, like you did all the things, and that was nerve wracking for me. I was
Okay.
like, but I really wanted to try it because it was out of my comfort zone. It's something I hadn't done before, and I was like, I wonder if I'll be good at this, or at least, the one time will I be good at this,
Right. So
because
did
you could be a
you did
smart
you
ass.
try did you try going to an open mic at all, or was that just
Not
your
even.
first?
Not
Yeah.
even because and my chain of reasoning was that, I was hearing the other girls say like sometimes how rough open mic nights can be, and I kind of didn't want. It's not that I couldn't handle, whatever, but because I hadn't done it before, I didn't want a potential experience to kind of flavor this one. Like I kind of
Right.
wanted to just this to be my experience. And I go, one of my friends said, maybe you should workshop it, with a comic or whatnot. And I was like, it's supposed to be an amateur thing. I also didn't want to sound practiced or scripted
Right.
in that way. I'm like, no, I think I'm okay. Like maybe I was overconfident or whatnot, but I was like, no, I think I'm all right. I laughed. Like I was like, I laughed at it. So it's funny. I just gotta tweak it. I gotta practice it. I gotta fine tune it.
Yeah.
And then when you're on the stage, you're still ad-libbing your own shit. So I was like,
Oh yeah,
as good as
because
much as I could
however my
do,
thing came out on the stage was not how I practiced it.
right? You see what I
Whatever
mean? And
came out, just came out.
all my bit, and truth be told, that when I wrote my bits, I have no curse words in it at all, not even shit. And then when I'm on stage, I was like, well, shit. Like whatever comes out is what comes out, and that's what's out there. And God bless us one and all. Like there was
Could you see the people though? Could you see the people?
All I seen was foreheads and eyeballs, honey. I ain't seen none of that.
I see them, but I'm also so this is probably a bad thing. I'm practiced at not making eye contact with people. Like I'm just like I'm looking at people, but just like a scan, like very generally. And if I'm looking somewhere, I'm like just above their head, so they think I'm looking at them, but I'm not. And that's just so I'm not thinking about people looking at me. So I'm like,
Well, I was hoping I didn't see anybody, but I saw everybody.
well, you saw 300 pairs of eyes. That's
I couldn't help believe
300
it.
pairs of eyes.
I was like, I thought that the lights were going to be bright enough that I didn't see anybody. But you know what? Listen, my daughter said to me, Mommy, you know what? I don't care if you go up there and you're the worst one. But
That's it, honey.
nobody up there, nobody can say anything because you got up there.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
and my whole thing was like, we already won because even if I suck, my charity got their money.
Right.
And so I was like, I could go out there and be terrible, but they're gonna get that check. And so I kind of made my focus the check, like the check for the charity. I
Mhm.
was like, I'm like, I'm doing this for Casa Esperanza. I'm doing this for Patty. I'm doing it, like my focus had to be bigger than myself, or I
Right.
would have not done it or not done as well.
I think my focus was bigger than myself too. I not only did I do it for my high school friends that cheered me on, and of course the one that got the check is one of my high school friends,
And what
and
was your charity again?
the Miracle Center.
The Miracle Center.
They do a lot of arts. They do plays like they did the Heights in the Heights. They've
Ooh.
done Little Mermaid. I mean, they do these productions. These are productions, and my older sister, my sister Jerry, and my little sister, they knew that this was a life uh, long dream of mine to do it. So I didn't want to let them down, but not doing it, I would have let everybody, including myself, down.
Right.
Marcy, you were so great. Like you were so great up there. I was like, I'm glad Marcy's before me. And then I was like, shit, Marcy's before me. How am I gonna make these people
No, I just wanted to set the tone so that the crowd had energy, so that anybody that followed me, they were left with that energy. That's what I was
Right.
trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that set it up for the rest of us. So thank you so much for
oh no,
being
you're welcome.
you.
I might have passed out if they told me I was number one. Oh,
Like,
even
well,
when Anna and Marcy got up there, I didn't even see them. I was tucked in my little corner in my own little head. Even Anna was like, "Where were you up there?" I was like, "Oh, I was up there. I was just in my own little head. I didn't even want to say hi to her because I'm like, I don't want to start girl fanning right now."
yeah. Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's actually the second time I met Anna. The first time I met Anna, I went to her show last year, Te sientas o te siento.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all in Spanish, and it was really amazing. So I felt okay to miss her bits because a lot of them were from that material. So
Okay.
just in English. So I was like, oh, okay, I know these jokes. I'm not hearing nothing new. But I was so at one point I was like mind freaking myself because I was like, I'm trying to work with my topics, the material or whatever. And I'm like, this is as memorized as I can get, whatever. And the only
I
way I
got
could
to
calm
that
down was
point.
hearing my intro song. I just
I
played it
didn't
on my
want to look.
earbuds.
I'm with you. I didn't want to look at my the stuff that had my phone no more. I just kept playing it in my head. I said, it is what it is at this point. It
Yeah.
Yeah.
is what it is. And it's so funny when it comes down to Malabar because my girlfriend, my sister's girlfriend, would always call me Maria Belabal. And I was like, who is, why you keep calling me this name? I don't, because I'm older than Anna. And a lot of people would always say, oh, you remind me of this, the lady from Channel 9, around town with Anna. And then my friend's husband told her, every time I see you in the morning, I always think about Marcy. Because you remind me of Marcy. So that was for me, that made me feel good because so many people have said that to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she liked that or not, but I know that it was good for me. But it was I also speak in I listen, I don't know either of them perfectly, but I'm very funny. I think I'm funnier in Spanish. So it was hard for me to translate things into English,
No.
to make it twisted
I wish
into
I don't
English.
know neither. I mean, I barely know. I know Spanglish. I know
Yes,
Chicago-ish language.
yes. I'm actually doing a paper on that right now about children who are bilingual and how we have our own code and like how we have our own words for stuff that
Well,
has.
it's hard. Well, I think like okay, so I don't know. Like, I mean, I can understand Spanish, but I can't speak it.
Okay.
So, but I can like when my people speak Spanish to me, like for Spanish, like we would say the object and then describe it. Versus in English, we describe, right. So like for me, I'm 44 years old and I still be like lemon, lime, shit, the yellow one. So
Yes.
they're like, oh, that's a lemon, Jess. I'm like, well, in Spanish, everything is limon, but it's
Right.
either yellow or green. So it doesn't like even
Unless
now.
you're Puerto Rican, and that is Lima.
See, but no, for
Yeah.
me, it was like either the yellow one or the green one. That's what my mom would yell. Give me the green one. Give me the yellow one. So that's how I know it. And it's still, even now, it's still in my brain. So that even when I go somewhere, I'd be like, let me get a lemon. No, the lime. Well, shit, the yellow one, whatever the yellow one is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
No.
everybody got to correct you. It's the
Right.
lemon or whatever.
Well,
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, but yeah, it was my default mode is to communicate in Spanglish. Like, and I have to apologize a lot, like when I meet clients that are like monolingual, because I'm like, I'm gonna work real hard to not do that. But a
Hmm.
word may slip out. Please let me know that it did. Like, or
Yeah.
please stop me.
Well,
And
well, when
and
you're
so that was
truly
hard.
bilingual, your brain fights to see what language is going to come out. So they do not fall asleep in your brain. So it's always a battle to see what's going to come out. Is it going to be Spanish and English? But if I know you speak Spanish, I will talk to you in Spanish, even
Right.
though I know you know English.
Hmm.
That's just the way it is. But
Now, was Spanish your first language, though?
yes, my mom didn't
Okay.
allow us to speak English at home.
Damn it, mom.
So
I wish
yes,
I knew Spanish, boy.
it's gotten better over the years because hence I've been doing interpreting for 20 years. Um, is it perfect? Absolutely not. I'd be like, mira cómo se dice esto because I don't understand how to say that in Spanish. Or, hey, how do you say that in English? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to think of how to say brine. Like I brine the turkey, right? Well, I had to look it up. It's escabeche. You know what I'm saying? So I had to look it up
Mm,
to explain to them. So I have this app on my phone that I use all the time when I can't switch from one to the next. But
mm.
when I'm being funny, I am like Jacqueline says, I say in English and in Spanish, and it's all mixed up, and trying to say
Whatever comes
all
out.
in English, or saying parts of it in Spanish and then translating it, interpreting it into English, was very difficult. It's something that I have to continually practice.
Well, my
Well,
whole
yeah,
thing was
because like if
during the
there's people
show.
in the audience like myself who don't speak Spanish, or like at least I understand it. So like if somebody says a joke, I'll understand it. But if somebody who doesn't speak Spanish and you say something and then everybody else is laughing and you're just like, well, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't get it.
my temptation up there was seeing so many Boricuas out there. It was like I really had to fight the urge to bust out Ricanisms, you know? Like I really had
Hey,
to
that could be a show name.
Yeah.
Ricanism.
Yes.
Um,
Porque el boricua es otra cosa, let me tell you.
yeah,
Like I
Don't
was
worry,
we
I
really
know. I
have
grew
to,
up down the street from Humboldt Park. I've dealt with a lot of that. I'd be like, they'd be like, you don't understand Spanish? And I'd be like, you need to slow down. Because I
yeah.
don't understand that
girl,
Spanish yet.
girl, I'm fluent and I gotta tell people to slow down. Like I had to
But when I
call
went to Puerto
my
Rico, though, so I think that's just like a United States thing. Because when I went to Puerto Rico, they weren't talking that fast. I mean, they spoke a little fast, but they weren't talking that fast like they do it out here.
oh because no, they are faster on the island.
I didn't
So
think so.
they're because the thing is the way we even Puerto Ricans here who like grew up here, they could tell we're from here. They could tell we're not from there because the
Right.
inflections in our tone mimic our English, you
Mm.
know? So
Or somebody
where
who mixes Puerto Rican with Mexican with Argentinian with Colombian, because I deal with all those different countries, and my Spanish is all of them.
Yeah.
yeah. And and it's like, and also too, it just depends who you're talking to. Like you tend to code switch, or at least I tend to code switch. Like when I have new, I work for a social service agency, like as my real job. And so, so when I have a lot of clients, I have yet to have a Puerto Rican client. Like they're like Mexican, Guatemalan, Venezuelan, they're from everywhere
He's
but Puerto
waiting.
Rico.
Come on.
And so, well, so I'm like, I want you to understand what I'm saying. And I work out in the Elgin area. So you guys aren't used to hearing the accent there. So like I kind of ease them into it. So in the beginning, I'll have more of like a neutral accent. Like you can't exactly tell where I'm from. And then as like time goes on, like more of the Rican slides in, and then they're like, oh, okay, we get you now.
I think that's
You
just
know?
a human thing, though, because like I'll speak like the way I speak at the hair salon around my people. I mean, I still speak like this, but in less curse words. And then when I speak to like when I'm in the streets with my friends, then I speak a certain way. And then like when I speak to my mother who has an accent, I feel like I have an accent with her. Cause like
Yeah.
me having an accent like her makes it feel like you're gonna understand my English more.
Yeah. I think
I don't
that
know why I think
see,
that, but that's what.
I think that this is why. This is what I tell people. This is my thought on that. I pick up every accent that you speak to me. If you speak to me from Argentina, I'm going to speak back to you with the same accent. I'll pick it up like this. I work with a lot of clients as well. I think it's because our ears are not just used to one Spanish. If you live on the island,
Right.
you only listen to uh, Puerto Rican speaking. If you live in Mexico, you only listen to Mexican speaking. If you live in Argentina, so if your ear is just trained to that, the likeliness of you picking up other accents is not. But we living here, we're listening to all of it. So when I
Right.
work with families, I'll be like, "Mira, in my country we say bicocho. How you say bicocho in your house?" And they'll say torta, pastel, whatever.
Right.
So
Whatever
I
they
learn
say.
new words and they learn new words.
Right.
Right.
Like I am Puerto Rican, but I am forever saying, "Órale que la canción," or "No mames." You know what I'm saying? I'm forever always saying that. People think I'm Mexican all the time, just by my name. What is your name? Marisela Gomez. Oh, what part of Mexico are you from?
The
Yeah, I'm Puerto
Rican
Rican.
part.
And they're like, well, how do you have such a Mexican name? And I said, my mother liked novelas.
Right.
That's how I got my name from my
Right.
novela.
So Jess,
A
So
when you
lot of
say
people,
your mom has,
a lot of people out here got their names from novelas. Okay.
I I did not because my mom named me after white people, but that's okay. So so Jess, when you say your mom has an accent, like could you like imitate it? Like can you
Oh,
like
all the time, all the time. You know, but I'm telling you, I talk like her. Not like trying to make fun of her, but I don't know why in my brain I
it's
feel
just
like if I speak with her kind of accent, like she'll understand me more.
oh that's funny. No, I always use my mom's accent as a bit. Like that's so much material. She's my my mom is she's gonna be 68 this year.
Mhm.
She's going to be 68 and she's lived in the States since she was like 18 and her English has never improved in like all that time.
my
My mother
mother
So
is
did.
'82.
My mom got to the states when she was 18. Also, she is about
yeah,
to be 69. Well, she's already 69. She's about to be 70, and still, like I mean, there was, but it depends on who you have around you, right? So my mother
right.
used to work with this gentleman um at this company, and he used like them big dictionary words, like he was a walking dictionary, like he spoke English and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Like I always tell people all the time, don't use big words with me because I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to
And
take it as disrespect.
my mother would come home and be like the do and the buddha would, I'm like, what is that? She's like, that's English. I'm like, well, that ain't the English that I know. I
That's
don't,
funny.
I gotta pull out a dictionary and be like, what? But it's just the people that you have around you is what you pick up.
My
It's
So
mother went
true.
to school. Hence my joke. She went to school. Never was able to pick it up. My mother's 82. I'm the old one in the group. My mom's 82. So, but she could never pick it up. And listen, you bitches. That's how she be talking.
Oh
yeah, no, my
no.
mom won't use my mom doesn't use profanity. But like even when she goes to the doctors now, she'll still sometimes ask for an interpreter. I'm like, Ma, you know what they're saying. She'll be like, well, just in case. I'm like,
Well, that's
But
funny
she's
because
smart.
I always tell my mom to get an interpreter and she refuses. And so I remember when my brother bought a bigger house in Berwyn and my sister-in-law, like they had an extra room at the time and they're like, oh, you know, if one of the in-laws gets sick or needs to move in or whatever. And so she goes to my mom, she goes, you know, Rania, you know, if you come or like, or even if you spend the night, you can stay there. But you know, like if my mom or you get sick and you need like more help. And she goes, oh no, no, don't worry. My daughter going to take care of me. And
Yeah.
it was like, does she mean Ashley? Because I can't take care of my mom. I was like, I got no room in this house. Like
oh,
this house is tiny. But yeah.
I,
Uh
I, I get it. I get it. You
yeah.
know, some people learn it and some people don't. It's just, that
Yeah.
the window of opportunity closes after 7 years old.
Yeah.
oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The language structures in your brain are already formed by that age. So it's harder to
Mm-hmm.
do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not
no.
impossible, but it truly has to be an immersive like thing. So that's like tricky.
Like my kids speak it with a very heavy accent. Like you could come to my house and if you don't speak English, they'll be like, um, señorita Stephanie, mi mamá no está en la casa ahora, pero
Right.
si usted le gustaría una tacita de café, yo le hago una tacita de café y ya mi mamá va a estar llegando. They could communicate, but with a very
It's
heavy accent,
cute.
which I'm happy with that.
At least
It's
they know
cute.
that though. But see, like when people hear me talk the little Spanish that I do know, they think, because apparently I have an accent when I do speak it, and they think that I can actually speak it, and then they start going, "Brrr," and I'm like, no, hold on, that's all I got. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I got.
Don't try no more,
Don't
right?
have a conversation with me. I got like 4 words in my arsenal, like bah, 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 I got you. But after that, like,
This is my
I had to start
repertoire and you
pulling
are
out.
stretching it.
Look, so I wanted my children to learn, like at least, like if I couldn't teach them Spanish, so I'm like, at least their babysitter only spoke Spanish only. But when I had to tell her something, I'm like, I had to pull out Google Translate and be like, can you read that? Like, do you understand that? I had to literally, because if I told her and she just looked at me like, I don't know what you're saying, Then I would show her on my phone, like Google Translate, and then she'd be like, "Oh yeah, 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 I got like yeah, yeah, yeah."
People just appreciate effort. You don't even have to be good or fair at it. It's just, I think where people go wrong is, just the entitlement that they shouldn't even have to try to communicate with people that don't speak the same language as them when
Yeah,
there's so many other ways. People just appreciate effort, the human connection. So even that
right.
you did that translating, you're like, I see you, you're a person, and this is where I'm at. This is my level, and this is how I can communicate with you.
Uh,
I think
There's
the
nothing
United
wrong with that.
States. I think the United States did I think, a bad thing by not having or making children learn a second language since kindergarten. Because I used to have exchange students, and those kids will come here with two and three and five languages because they started in kindergarten. They
right.
were, and then once they got one, they got the other. And I know that there is
No,
a
because
school
you
in
know what?
Texas.
We're here because I'm guilty of that. Is that here in the United States, we're more focused on sports. Our kids should play two or three sports,
Mm-hmm.
or we're not focused so much on that. Like, well, I mean, my child now, my little one is now in dual language, so now
Mhm.
he is in English and Spanish. But then he tells me, "But mommy, Spanish is only for Mexico, not here." So
Mm-mm.
I'm like, "No, you got to talk now. You can only talk to grandma in Spanish."
Right,
Ooh,
That don't
right.
work because my mom gets
deconstruct
frustrated. She'll be like,
that.
"Oh, just tell me in English."
Deconstruct that, because that is the worst. Like,
Yeah, it's
I actually gift my kids in my program of the bilingual kids. Ironically, the book is in English, but it's called Spanish is My Superpower.
Right. It
I
is.
highly
yeah.
encourage uh maybe that
Well, go
um
download
book.
Rosetta
Okay,
Stone after this show.
I just found out there's like little Roja Riding Hood, La Rubia Lustre and the Three Osos, and these books are all written by an American lady who wrote them in a new way, and bilingual, and
Right.
it's great. I think that we need America needs to start shifting. Like, if we're welcoming everybody here, we should, yes, you should learn English. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but we should embrace the other languages.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
think so.
We're a melting pot, but that's not to create homogeneity. It's to, really accept and embrace every diverse part that makes up the country. And I think that's where people go wrong. They think like, oh, you're in America,
You should
so
speak English.
assimilate. And I'm
But
like,
even
no,
when
no,
you're not
no.
in America, but there's other countries that teach their children English for the
Right.
simple
And
fact that first
All of them.
it'll help you in business.
right.
And if you ever come to this, you know what I'm saying? Like to other people in other countries, the English is like a universal language.
I
Right.
don't
Because
know a
I
country
think,
that doesn't teach English to their kids from
At
little.
least the basics, you know what I'm saying? But
well,
like,
I think English is like the second most spoken language in the world after like Mandarin or something. So,
I think
um,
Spanish.
and then Spanish is after English. So,
um,
but
I
we
think
got
it's
two of the
Spanish,
top
English,
three.
and
right. And I only know one, barely.
You're still in the top three.
You know one barely. Well,
Yeah,
ladies,
top three.
I'm glad you guys were able to come on the show,
no,
you
Absolutely.
know,
anytime. Well, it
for
was our
the
pleasure.
time.
Sorry that I jumped
We
on
have to
late.
set up a dinner or at some point to see if we can get all the ladies together and just
Heck
go
yeah.
hang
Absolutely.
out, have some dinner, have some drinks, and just chop it up that way without the pressure of the
Absolutely.
lights. You feel me?
Yes. I'm going, listen, I'm going to take advantage of the tickets Mikey gave us. I'll be at the Sangria Fest.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I'm going this
I
Sunday.
I am working on my homework right now so that I can go to the Sangria Fest.
Yeah,
So then I'll send you a text. Hey, I'm here. Where you at?
yeah, do that because I'm going. I don't know what time we're going, but we're going that Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Well, thank
kids.
you.
Well,
It was great
Thank you,
sharing the
Marcy. It
stage
was
with you
great
guys.
meeting you.
Yes,
You did a
absolutely.
great job. I'm glad you got up there and did your thing.
we all
I'm
did great.
we
Yes.
all
And
of us did great.
and
All of
thanks
us.
for allowing that little segue into social justice.
Always. There's always a purpose to everything, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
Thank you,
right.
ladies. Have a
Thank
nice
You
you.
evening.
guys.
Thank you, Jackie. We had technical difficulties. Oh my God. Y'all, please. The whole shelf thing is bothering the hell out of me. But yeah, so those were two of the comedians. Actually, that was number one and number two. So the Marcy was the first comedian that came out, and then Jackie was the second comedian that came out, and then there was this lady, Elizabeth, and then myself. So I was number four. But yeah, I mean, again, it's still a high. But even now, because you know what, I'm still gonna be talking about this for the rest of this week, because all my ladies here at the salon that have been hearing me talk about it are all like, "Oh my God, how did you do?" Like tomorrow, I'm gonna come in here, and then they're gonna be like, "So how did you do on your comedy show?" And I'm gonna be like, "Here, let me tell you," and then I'm gonna show them the video and do all of that. Um, Yeah, Stephanie said laughter is the best medicine. It is. I think laughter is the best medicine because um you know what? Life's already too serious that, like, I feel like I don't even think, like, how would you say? I honestly don't even think I'm that funny. I just try to find the humor in situations or in life because everything else is already too damn serious. So, I rather have smile lines than stress lines. Okay, you feel me? I mean, I ain't trying to have no wrinkles anyway. You feel me? But if you're gonna have them, I rather have smile lines than stress or anxiety or whatever other lines that you can get on your face. I don't want them. Oh, but now the pressure is on. So again, if you have not heard my crooked titty joke, because we this is part of the first crooked titty committee meeting, and men are included because y'all got titties too. Um, but no, I now the pressure is on because again, guys, I am on next Friday. Next Friday, August 25th, we got the 606 Mania for Quattro. Um, Tickets are at bsidestudios.net at the Den Theater, 8 o'clock or 8:08 American time. Um, I'm coming up with a whole new thing. Like I'm not even gonna talk about my crooked titty on that show. I'm coming up with a whole new material. I'm coming. That's the thing though. Like now, I have to zero in on what I want to talk about because, as y'all know, if you follow me on this podcast or in real life, y'all know that I can talk about anything. Y'all want to talk about sports? Let's talk about sports. You want to talk about social justice? We can talk about that. You want to talk about some bullshit? We can talk about some bullshit. You feel me? So I am coming up with a whole new set. I think I got about half of it already. Like I was about talking about it with one of my clients today, and I was just like, "Yo, I want that part to jiggle, but it don't." And then she was just like, she was dying, and we were talking about it, and I was like, "Man, if I could make this like 7-year-old lady die off of that conversation, okay." So I'm gonna come up with a whole new set. It's gonna be they're giving me 10 minutes, y'all. They're giving me 10 minutes to talk my shit. If I don't throw up or pass out prior to that, but I feel like, yo, if I was able to do this show, the Mikey O Mom Got Jokes at 300 people, like, man, let's go. Like it just actually gave me a whole extra boost of confidence that I didn't even know I needed, but that I got it. And now that I got it, I'm like, what's up? But yeah, so if y'all like, the funny part, one of the funniest moments. I'm gonna share two funny moments that I've had this week. One of them has to do with my brother. So I mean, and it's a slight hee hee ha ha. Relax, Eddie. I'm not talking about you like that. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for your birthday to talk about you, sir. Don't worry. I'm holding that one in. But no, my brother. I got off the show, and my brother was like, "You really gotta go up there and talk about your boob." And I said, "Well, no, not really. But I mean, I can talk about you if you prefer." He was like, "Oh no, 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 it's all right. Go ahead, talk about your boo if you want to." And then his homeboy Mookie came out, which was like an old friend of mine. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I had mad people up in there, and I want to tell y'all real quick. Like I know I put it on Facebook and I put it on everything, but I appreciate everybody that came out to support not only me but like these ladies. I mean, it was a packed house, and for my people to like, man, I mean off a jump, I know my people got 4 tables or 3 tables, and then the 2 box sections. Like my people got the B-side studios had the VIP section. Okay. And then I had a few scattered around there that I didn't even know were coming, but they came, and I'm just like, y'all touched my heart that night because I'm telling you, people showed up that I didn't even think was even on the radar, even knowing what I was even doing. But for them to even show up and show support and all of that, like, look, y'all, I was like this close to shedding a tear, this close. But it really touched me, and y'all don't even know, like, all of that, plus the rest of the people that, like, just standing by the front door saying goodbye to people that were, like, checking out my titties, you feel me? And then um that were like just commenting, like all the comments, the feedback was just like, yo, you know what, I'm here for somebody else, but man, you were like my runner number 2, you were the funniest part, like you were funny or whatever. And it was just like, I didn't even expect, like I didn't, those my thoughts didn't even go to like any type of that feedback. And then for some of my comedian friends who watched that video and hit me up on my personal line and was like, yo, you did your shit, and was even trying to get me on some other shows, like, what? Because again, like this was not an idea that I never thought like I want to be a comedian. I just talk a lot of shit. So for me to even have these opportunities and for these people to even want to put me on other shows to give me an opportunity, like yo, all of that is appreciated, you know. But you know what? If you're gonna give me the opportunity to talk my shit, you feel me? I'm let's go. But um again, I just appreciate it and I love y'all for that. But the second thing that I'm gonna leave y'all with, so y'all know I'm coaching. And the funny part is that like I tell people all the time, like I don't even like kids. Like I've been trying to get rid of my own damn kids. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but man, I don't be liking these little kids. First they stink, then they're boogery, and then when they're little, they just ugh. But I'm coaching, and apparently I can speak the language of children because they get it, they understand it, and okay. So I had a funny moment this past week. So I have a center, right? My center on my O line. So for people who don't know that, the center of your O line is the one that actually hikes the ball between his legs and gives it to the quarterback, right? So I had this little boy who's being the center, and I was just like, okay, and I'm just talking quick, like, okay, you're here, you're my center, I need you to snap. Do you know this little boy said like this? It was the most simplest thing. I had to take a moment and laugh to myself because I was like, no, I don't need you to snap your fingers. I need you to snap the ball. So those are those moments. There's other moments that I'm like, what the fuck am I doing out here? What the fuck did you just do to yourself, Jess? What the fuck are you doing coaching? And then I get those little moments where the kid was like, and then man, look, when that little boy said, "Oh, I can snap," man, he was so proud of that I even stopped and laughed, and I even looked over, and the coach was like, "What's wrong, Jess?" And I told him, and he started laughing. It's those moments that like make it worth it. You know what I'm saying? It makes it worth being frustrated and being out there tired and whatever for those little moments, because the purity of their thought process is not overthinking shit. It's not, thinking of all the other crap that we have to deal with in life already. So that right there made my freaking week, away from the mom got jokes thing, right? But that, like, even now I have to be specific when I say yo, I need you to snap the ball. He's like, oh, okay. I mean, he'd be ready too. He'd be ready to give me them snaps, but I'd be like, nope, I need you to snap the ball. But anyways, yo, that is my time today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to like tell y'all on the next episode of what happened with the 606. Because if this show was bananas, what? I don't know. There was a strange noise coming from the front door. But if y'all thought the last show or the last comedy show was bananas, yo, 606 B-Side Studios is putting that comedy show together. If y'all didn't see the flyer, man, look, I gotta come. I'm trying to make a name. Feel me? And so I seen all them other comics on that damn flyer, and I said, first off, a lot of them I want to meet in person because I've heard of them, but I ain't never met them in person. So I want to be like, hey, how you doing? Jessica, Jessica Best, Jessica Doyola, hello. Second, man, they some good ass comics. Like, yo, they funny. Like, look, Maurice, you did your thing this year. I'm looking like, not saying that the previous comics were ain't shit. I'm just saying, not only is somebody trying to come up in, I hear drilling and stuff. Are they changing the door? But anyways, he did his thing this year. I want to say because, like, I'm telling you, wear a diaper because I think y'all gonna like be peeing in your pants. Second, or I don't know, maybe I'm on third, number three, number four. Um, I am gonna bring like so since I'm the first one, because I'm the newbie. I want to I want to set that bar up here. You feel me? I want to put that bar up there so that these other comics be like, oh, look at this rookie doing her thing. Okay. And now they got to come and start, wah, 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 wah. You know what I'm saying? Do they thing and bring your A game so we can make this a spectacular night. You feel me? So look, you are not going to want to miss this show. If you have not bought your tickets, again, go to bsidestudios.net. This one is not a big old place. So we trying to sell this motherfucker out, okay? I'm telling y'all, you guys are gonna hear it on the next episode, and then y'all gonna be like, dang, I wish I was there. Dang, I wish I should have been there. And it's a Friday night, and it's at 8 o'clock. Ain't no excuse why you can't be there. High school football ain't started yet. Oh no, I'm lying. Oh, I'm lying. I'm actually gonna be missing my oldest son's first football game. But he told me it was okay. I feel bad. But I will tell you this, that I was offered to be on another show in September, but it's a Friday night. And as much as it killed me, when I tell you it killed me to tell this person that I couldn't do that show, man, they was willing to give me like 5 minutes. And I was like, ah. But I kind of tell them no because my son is a senior and Friday nights are football nights. It's Friday night football nights, whatever you call that damn shit. And it killed me, but I was like, man, look, my son is a senior. This is his last year playing football. Like, I know I want to I want to get into this whole comedy thing, but I also don't want to do it in the expense of me missing out on my children's activities. So away from 606, I will not be missing another football game on purpose like this. It just happened. But so again, y'all ain't gonna see me out on the Friday night like this unless y'all come out here and watch football with me. But yeah, my son has a football game that evening. And you know what? Me and Maurice were even trying to like think about like, well, man, but man, yo, his damn game is all the way on 175th and Pulaski. So any of my people that may not be coming to the show, I don't know why you're not coming to the show, but in the event that you not coming to the show, go watch my son play. So at least he feel like somebody from my family out there cheering him on and doing this thing and whatever. It's their first game, but it's away. The next home game for him would be September 1st. And that's at home. So anybody that want to come out, look, it's my baby's last year. He's a senior. We're gonna be up there cutting it up. We're gonna be going crazy. But again, so catch me at the 606. And if not, catch me on the aftermath of that show here August 30th, 8 o'clock ish, because you know I never start on time, but 8 o'clock ish. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm out of here. Peace.